Welcome back to Question a Day Keeps a Bad ATAR Away. Welcome to day 6, measures of central tendency. Okay, in other words, mean, median, mode, range. And sometimes your extra little pieces like standard deviation. Okay, so this question here is a bit of an interesting one. It's slightly less common, but definitely you'll need to know how to do it. It says here 20 year 12 students were surveyed, and these students were asked how many hours of sport they play per week to the nearest hour. The results are shown in the frequency table. Now, as you can see, these here, I don't know if you can see that, but these are what we call classes. Okay, so they're not a particular score, it's a bunch of scores. So the way that we would find average is we still use our table. I'm going to draw my own. Okay, and then what we're going to have here is, I'm just going to write it up above. We have to use this thing called a class center. Okay, and then we're still going to use our regular frequency. And so for the first one, you can see here that the class center between 0 and 2. So this is just for the calculation sake. It's going to be 1, and because 1 is in between 0 and 2. So as you can see, the number between 3 and 5 would be 4. And so that would be 10. And then between 6 and 8 would be 7. So there would be 3 of those scores, and between 9 and 11 is 10. And there's 2 of those scores. So you can see here, they haven't given you the class center, but for whenever you have classes or a range, you'll have to find the class center. Okay, now from there, the way that you would do a question like this would be, you'd use your FX column, or in other words, how would I do this? Essentially, I'm going to go 1 times 5 because there's 5 with a class center of 1. And then I'm going to plus 4 times 10 because there's 10 of those scores, plus 7 times 3 because there's 3 of those scores, and then plus 10 times 2. And so this is the way that we would find the average when we've only got class centers. Okay, so it's definitely an approximation, but that's how we would calculate it. And then that would be the sum of all my scores, because that's what average is. But this time I'm going to divide it by the number of scores. And so if you add up all these numbers here, 5, 10, 15, 20, pretty sure that math is right. There's 20 students. So we would divide it by 20. Okay, now let's quickly do this. 5 plus 40 plus 21 plus 20 all over 20. And that answer should be 4.3. So you can see here, your answer would be B. Okay, so just remember, whenever you see a table that's got, I guess, different classes, so 0 to 2 or 0 to 10 or something like that, you'll need to find the class center before you can find the average. Okay, now for the next one, slightly different question. Similar, but the same. So this one here, it says there's 8 households in his street, and he asked them how many kiloliters of water they used in the last year. Here are the results. We want to calculate the mean of the data set. Now, similar to before, your mean is just the sum of all scores divided by the number of scores. Okay. Now, for this question, it's sometimes helpful to read through before you actually answer it. And so what you'll notice here is underneath, it says, what's the standard deviation? Okay, now, because I have to calculate these two, I'm going to do it all in one go in my calculator. This is when you have to go into your stat mode. So it will be mode. Press the mode button, press the stat button, press the 1 VAR. So for most people, it'll be number 1 after that. And then you want to input all your scores. Okay, and then you use equals to put it in. Now, once you've inputted all your scores, this is the part that feels bad. You're going to press AC, and then you're going to go Shift 1, which will get you the stat. This is what you do in your calculator, by the way. And then after that, you'll go to VAR for variable. And then from there, you'll get a couple options. I'm pretty sure you'll get N, you'll get X with a hat on top, and then you'll also get your standard deviation and these kind of other ones here. N is how many, it's the number of scores. The X with the bar on top is your average / your mean. This one here is your standard deviation, which is what we're looking for. And then the one below it is your sample standard deviation, which we use when the word sample is used in the question. Okay, so have a go putting it into your calculator, see if you can follow. I'm going to quickly do this as well. I apologize for everyone that has to wait. 105, 101, 450, 37, 338, 151. Oops, I'm going to fix that one. Oh no, it is 37. And then 8 will be 151. And then 205. Shift 1, VAR for variable. And then here I can see that the average is going to be 195.3 according to the calculator. And of course I could have done it the other way, but because I have to find standard deviation, you have to be in the calculator anyway. So I'm going to go AC, shift 1 again, go to VAR, and then pick the standard deviation button. And in this case, the standard deviation, it says here it's 121.1, just to one decimal place. Okay, and again, it's that, normally that's the little symbol. In your calculator, it will be that with the X next to it. Okay, hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully that helps. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you guys later.